Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. It's finally the Create-Along.
Finally Create-Along. Oh my gosh. So if you haven't seen the first look from Monday, go back and watch it. You can watch Panda freak out about the paper.
So cute.
I love the paper.
I commandeered some of the paper.
I was going to say, when we were done, she was like, nope, keeping this paper. So I got to print a whole another set for myself.
Well, they're printables. You just print when you need them.
That's true. That's true. So we are going to do our Create-Along today, building our adorable Easter gnomes.
Yes, I'm so excited about these bunny ears.
Easter gnomes. So let's just kind of recap what we have here. So hopefully you have, or you've ordered your 2x2x6 boxes and whatever gnome beard you like, or maybe you have some on hand. I'm going to make an orange one. Panda's making, I think that's raspberry. I'm pretty sure that's raspberry. And so those are our beards we picked. And then with the bundle, you got your ears, so we can pick our ears. You got your 4 hats, which I'm going to do this one.
Okay.
Or we have blue carrots.
Well, I guess, carrots go with the orange.
I wanted to keep with the orange. Blue carrots, teal and blue eggs, and the pink and gold eggs.
Let's see.
So those are hat choices.
I think I'm going to do this blue and teal eggs.
Okay, so
get a little color crazy.
Yeah, so we'll move these papers to the side, or you can do that for me. Thank you. And then you also got all of your hugs. Now I've already pre-decided I was going to do the gray carrot hug because we didn't have that on our examples.
I figured you were going to do them to match your hat.
Gray and gray.
Okay.
So we also have the pink dot carrots,
cute,
the light blue carrots, the teal chocolate bunnies, the pink chocolate bunnies, the pink eggs, and the teal eggs. Okay, and if you're ever wondering what they're called, down here in the corner, you'll see where's the camera? Right there, it says teal egg. So you can usually find which one it is. And sometimes I say teal egg, sometimes I say egg teal. Depends on the paper you're looking at.
No, this is spring
I just
eggs
realized
teal. Because it's the spring eggs in the teal color.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah.
I get you. So I'm doing this. I know it's like, you should do the egg with the egg. But I think I'm going to do a little crazy and do the chocolate bunny.
Oh, I'm so happy you're doing the chocolate bunny. I love the chocolate bunny.
And then I'm going to keep with the crazy, or not the crazy color, but the, multicolor, the blue with this.
With the pink.
Is really pretty.
That's going to be cute. All right. So we're going to get our other papers out of the way. And also in this set, what you get is your folding hat template. So I already have mine cut out and folded. If you don't, all you do is you're going to cut the exterior of your template out. We leave this little line here. Don't cut that off. You're going to fold on these interior lines. There's 2 lines like that. You fold them. So what you end up with is a hat template that folds. And the goal is to have this line right there fold right against that line. And your bottom should line up really nicely here. And just know the back of the hat is longer than the front of the hat. So if it looks like that when you fold it, that's okay. So if you haven't done that, take a minute now, cut out your template, get it folded, because you need one of these that is folded almost to the level of perfection. This is the only item that I'm like, if you don't get it right the first time, do it again until you get it right. Yeah. What we also forgot to mention in these hats is you'll get the blank pattern that you can print on any paper. Yeah.
You have your own Easter colors you want to do.
We always include the blank pattern and this folding template in all of them. That's nice. Okay, so are you going to start with your hat? Are you going to start with your arms? Are you going to start with your ears?
I think I'm going to pick my ears first.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know if I'm going to cut them first, but I pick them first.
Yeah, let's cut. I think I want to do... What ears do you want? You pick first, because I picked the paper first. Yeah. And sorry if you see us whipping around here, but we got to have our fan on today because it's getting warm here in Las Vegas.
It's not in the 50s anymore.
It's not in the 50s anymore. My studio here that we're in is right above the garage, and it's warm.
And it gets a lot of sunlight. Which is nice for the natural light, but not nice for the... Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't decide. They're all so fun.
Better pick before I pick the one you want.
No, pick one. I can't.
Okay, I'll pick first. Okay, I'm going to do these ones in the top left. They kind of got some personality. Now, one thing we mentioned on the Create-Along was that if you like a floppy ear, but you want them with this other ear, you can mix and match the left and rights all you want. So I'm just going to start here.
But if you want to keep them with a set, you should show what we did with our extras.
So we had cut out some extras the other day. And so to keep them together, this is super low tack tape. Like but I am taped to my glossy paper, which is a little tricky. But you want to use something super gloss, or if you have masking tape, what I would do before you stuck them on, always on the back side, never the print side stuck, is I would touch it with my fingers. I shook the camera. Touch them with my fingers before I stuck them to the tape. And it's honestly just to keep them from losing track of their pair, if you care.
If you care. You also put them in little, baggies or whatever you have.
Yeah. Or you could use, if you have, people don't mail stuff in envelopes as much anymore, little envelopes, check envelopes. You could use those to sort left and rights and whatever.
Or, your merch bags you get.
Merch bags, yeah.
But, and you can also test it on another paper before you put it on your good paper. Yeah. I picked the other top one because I like that they're
that's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Flopping, but a little different floppy.
I love it. All right, I'm going to set those aside. I want to cut them until I'm ready to apply them.
Yeah, I don't want to lose track of them.
I'm going to cut my hat apart first. And where do you like to start, on the curve?
If I'm doing it just straight scissors, I like the curve. Okay. Sometimes if I have my big paper cutter, my guillotine out.
My paper?
No, I'll just do it. Okay. My guillotine, I like to do this edge, the straight edge first. Yeah. And then just scissor cut this.
Which is a good point. As long as your printer printed straight.
Yeah, I just line up this because, if you're cutting a lot of them, it's nice to batch them.
I think when I cut, I tend to start right here where I cut off. Oop, I'm not in the camera. Where I cut off this little mark first and then I go around.
Okay. Yeah.
So
it's all your method.
Yep. And I cut off the thin gray line.
Yeah. I like to cut the thin gray line off mine too.
And just a reminder, when we're cutting with scissors, we don't like to chomp, because if you chomp them closed, it tends to leave a little slashy mark, where the scissors close. So on mine, I do nice long strokes because I'm using big scissors. I just don't chomp them.
Yep. And also you'll see, if you watch me do the curve, and you can see how Aimee, when she does this next turn, how she turns her paper, not her scissors.
Yeah.
It's great because it gives you more control. Yeah. Versus here.
Yeah. I always turn my paper, not my scissors.
Mm-hmm. And if that extra paper's in your way, cut it off. You don't have to do one continuous apple peel cut, right?
Correct.
You got to do what works for you.
Exactly. So I'm going to do my curve, which is what Panda was talking about. So take my scissors, and as I'm going, I'm turning my paper into my scissors. So my scissors are staying pretty straight. Oop. I went in too much, but it's okay. It's just a hat.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing about printables is you mess one up really bad, you just print it again.
True that.
And we were smart. Put the garbage can between us. If you have big pieces of paper like this or strips,
I'm going to keep this.
You can always save them and use them. Sometimes, if we're pre-wrapping gifts, I like to take a little piece of paper and write what it is, and either shove it in the bottom or use a little low tack tape to tape it underneath so you don't forget what it is. All right, so should we cut out arms before we fold?
Yeah, I want to cut before I fold.
Oop, I got ears stuck.
Oh, no.
Now, some of these are a little intricate. The egg is not as intricate. So if you are not a fan of intricate cutting, we put those in I would stick to the egg.
Yeah.
Just saying. But if you don't mind a little extra cutting, then I'm going to show you some tips on what I do, especially in the carrot.
And then you can cut it off your paper. You don't have to try and cut them all unless you feel like you're up for the challenge.
Oh yeah.
And you can also cut off your extra paper to help you get into those little intricate areas easier.
That's smart.
If that's easier to get, closer to your lines.
And this outside line is a pretty thick line. So we do that so that if you need to cut a little bit off, it's okay. You can see the difference in the line width of the hands versus the exterior.
That is nice. It's a little less pressure.
Yeah, a little less pressure.
So give us your tips where you're cutting.
So I usually cut my straight part first. For me, it gets it out of the way. But let me go in and show you my tips here. So traditionally what you would do is if you're just doing fussy cutting, you would just go around and around and around. What I like to do, let me cut off this excess, is I like to take my small scissors and I like to, let me get in the camera shot here.
Yeah.
I like to go into my, into the crease, I guess, into that finest point in there. And you see, I'm not using the edge of, the point of my scissors. I'm using the body of my scissors. And I go in to that finest point inside. And that way, when I go to cut this, that will already be cut there, and I won't have to try to flip my scissors around and get in there. And you can also, like, let's say this top of this curve is going to cause you issues. You can also do it on the curves. I mean, you can do as many of these as you want. These are really sharp scissors. Panda just got these for me, and I'm just poking myself.
They're brand new.
And the same up here. So I could go into, oh, I'm going too far in. I could go into all of these points just until I kiss that line. And it's easier when I don't have so much paper here. But you can go in as many times as you want. And then what happens is when you start to go around all these edges, it's already like kind of cut for you. So you're not having to curve around all of those things. Does that make sense?
I think it'll make more sense when you show us when you cut it.
Yeah. So, and this is like just for if you feel like you have problems with intricate cuts like this to me just seemed helpful. So let me go ahead and do that side.
So when she's getting up to that point, and like I often, if I get to a really intricate one, I go past it and I'll come back and do a smaller scissors to fussy cut there. Because like these curves, I was like, okay, that's really working for me.
Yeah, exactly.
But I want to see this method here.
Yeah, so just get these big chunks off first. And I'm using my big scissors for this part. Let me get this little part off.
And it's always your scissor preference. You just want to make sure they're sharp enough for paper. And paper does dual scissors, so don't just grab like any scissor out of the house. You want, some good sharp scissors, not your fabric scissors.
Not your fabric scissors. And if you feel like your scissors are dull, you can get them sharpened. You could try to do some chomps on some foil to self-sharpen them.
Yep. Or, splurge and get a new pair.
Splurge and get a new pair. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut these details out. So we'll start with the bottom on the carrot parts. So I've already cut like all these little liney things. So as I take my scissors and go around this curve, my pieces, see, look, just start to fall off because they're already cut. And so it just helps, like when you get into these tight little spaces, that you don't have to worry.
I see, that's nice.
Yeah. And so like even if I'm in here like this with these little scissors, all those little cuts have been made. So it helps me just not have too much bulk to work with. And I only do that when I have stuff that's intricate. Like these are kind of intricate. But look so that kind of really helped me. And the same here. I mean, there's a lot on. I did a lot on this. But it's because we have a lot of leaves. And we wanted to make this easy, but we also had to keep the integrity of our carrots.
Yeah, and you want to make it so, it still looks fun.
Yeah. So I have all my little cuts. So as I hit those points, it's easy to just get those to come off. They're just falling below me here. You do have to be careful, though, because I keep getting my scissors under the edge of it, like on the upcoming part, which it's not a problem. But, if you're like, oh, wait, why am I stabbing things? So as I go through here, all my little papers just fall down.
Nice.
It just, I think for me, makes it easier when I'm having to really get into these spots.
Yeah. That is a really cool method.
Thanks. There we go. And you can, if you have any extra little white stuff that's bothering you, you can always go in and tidy it up.
So I switched to my small scissors to do around this bow and to do between on the bottom there.
Yeah.
Another thing you can do is have cut into a lid of a box.
Yeah.
Or I save my old tissue boxes for my scraps. So then I just take out that plastic part, and then just do drop my scraps in there or toss them in there and then throw that in the recycle. Yeah,
I love that Panda does that. I'm always like, oh wait, that's not a tissue box, that's a scrap box. And then when it's full, she just moves them along.
Yep. Well, it makes cleanup a little easier.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so cute. That you did really good on that bunny. I have way more white on my carrot than you have on your bunny.
I like to fussy cut.
Yeah, Panda's a pro. All right, so
it's relaxing to me.
Hydrate, everyone. Hydrate.
I will in a second when I get my scraps.
Good job using your hat to clean up your scraps.
Well, I already threw away my other scraps, or normally I would use a scrap paper for that.
I gotta put my cat back on my super sharp scissors because they will stab you.
Yeah,
they're sharp. Okay, so now we're going to fold our hats. We've done this before, but if this is the first time joining.
Are you waiting to cut your ears till you're
Yeah,
closer?
I'm going to cut my ears once I have my hat assembled so I don't lose track of my left and right. Okay, so when we fold our hats, we always put our pretty side down because we're going to be folding this way, and we put our template line side up. I personally like to line my template up in the corner, just like Panda's doing. And these, I would say these do take practice, but man, when you get it, you get it. I will say, I do have the occasional one. I was working on these the other night, and I was like, what the heck did I do?
When you first brought them over to show.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then I like to have a ruler handy. You don't have to. Panda's used a scoreboard before, but I just use the ruler to kind of line up my paper, and then I grab my paper and I pull it up gently to kind of get it as close to that crease line as possible. That's my tip that I do. And just work it down to make sure that I really have a nice fold.
This is one thing where I'm more like willy-nilly, which is surprising, and then I just fix it after. It's like somehow this doesn't trigger my perfectionism, which is really odd. But it's fun.
Then I rotate because I'm right-handed, and I like to always do the motion with my right hand.
Yeah, I rotate too.
Same thing on this side. I kind of just pull it up so I can get it close to that edge without manhandling the paper.
Sometimes I notice I actually start on this side.
The big side?
So when I fold this other side over, if I need to adjust, I can adjust then. Oh, that's
smart.
But I don't always remember that until I'm on this side.
Oh, I did pretty good. Now, one adjustment we made on these Easter hats versus the Valentine's and St. Patrick's Day hats, and I probably will go back and send an update to those, is that we took off the line. There was a gray line kind of where this flap lined up right there, and we had a gray line on them so that you could see where your flap was, but honestly it doesn't matter as long as your hat is closing.
Mine's a little off, but it's gonna work.
I did not too bad, actually.
Like mine's I'm just gonna and it could be to the cut too, like if you don't get that perfect curve.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna trim it, and
it doesn't matter. Yeah. That's the good thing about these hats. Now, the other thing I like to do is we fold this right flap onto the left that has a little angle down there. We fold that over on top, and I like to put my glue on the outside of where I'm folding onto because I want to make sure I have glue on this edge seal. The other thing we like, can I dry baby wipe?
Nope, bad adjustment.
That was the wrong adjustment. Panda and I keep pieces of dry baby wipe, which our friend Claudette taught us about. And we use this. I use this anytime I'm using like a liquid glue because I'm going to put glue here. I'm going to fold this over. And if I, like I was used to do, take my finger and go like this, if I have any sort of just natural grease or dirt or ink or anything on my finger, I'm going to go like this and it's going to smear. Or even here, like this paper I'm using, I printed myself on my inkjet. So if I'm going to smear it, I don't want it to be greasy. So I use the baby wipe instead of my finger. And what that does is it prevents any grease streaks.
It is awesome.
Now I'm going to use liquid glue. You can use hot glue, whatever you want.
Another thing you can do too is like I have a scrap paper from when I cut my hat. And you can just throw that in there if you are worried about it so you don't glue the inside of your hat closed. Yeah. That's another thing we've done before. Oh, yeah, I really adjusted the wrong side. Okay, there we go.
So I put my glue on, and I'm just using my baby wipe. And I'll even, like, we cut them down, and then I'll fold it, and then I'll rotate it, like, if I feel like I got some glue on it. Because I also don't want to smear glue all over the place.
Yeah. But it really does well at, like, picking up that glue. It's amazing. Yeah. Sometimes if you get that extra glue, you can't even tell that you had glue on your paper. Yeah. It really is a cool hack.
Exactly. So my hat is glued. I made sure I didn't glue it shut on the inside, which I did not. I can see all the way down. And then I'm going to cut out my ears now. That looks good.
Oh yeah, see, it works fine. Yeah, so then I'm just going to come here and just trim this so my little curve matches.
Yeah, on the back side, yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's perfect. Even if you didn't cut that off, it's not the end of the world. It's on the back.
Yeah.
So for my bunny ears, as you can see how we put our bunny ears on this hat here, we just cut on the outside of the black line and then just cut along the bottom because we're just going to glue them like a little bit to the bottom so we can give them a little life instead of gluing them all the way flat.
I like it.
Because we like them to pop off the hat. So I'm going to cut out my ears.
And I'm cutting out my extra paper real quick because I feel like I have more control then.
I just think these are so cute. And I will say, I already have some ideas going in my brain for how to incorporate these ears with the paper collection.
Ooh.
Right? Not just on the gnomes.
I just had an idea.
All right. So, I mean, that's the great thing about this stuff is it mix and matches so well.
Oh, you are right.
Right?
When are we doing that create along?
We're going to do that create along next Thursday. We're going to do the create along with the spring papers and the Easter papers.
I got to go shopping.
So that one might be a little bit of a longer create along because I do want to showcase a lot of the papers.
Because I just thought of another seasonal thing that will work so well.
Really? Okay, good. I think I just cut off a little much of my black line on my ear, but it still looks okay.
You could do the rest of your black line to match or just leave it be.
Yeah. The other thing you can do, there's nothing against it, is you could cut off the black line. If you don't like the black line, you can totally cut off the black line and you still have enough bunny ear to work with it. I don't remember which ear was which. Oh, this was my left ear. And again, I mean, honestly, you can mix and match them however you want. Yeah. Besides the one that's maybe you wouldn't want an ear flopping in.
Oh, I was gonna see how it looked.
Oh, okay.
Just for curiosity.
And there's no wrong place to glue the ears. Here's my hat I did before. So you can see there's no wrong place to glue them. You could glue them more towards the bottom if you want, but I just liked them up a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it's the same. That's funny. I just liked them up a little bit more.
Okay.
And what I tend to do is I lay my ears face down below my hat. I put a little glue on the bottom of each one, and then I place them simultaneously. So I feel like I get them in the right spot I want them. And I just did a little bit of glue right there and right there. You could also use glue dots with these. Would probably be really good. You could use a little of the like craft double stick tape maybe if you wanted, but I just go like this.
Well, yeah, an inside flop looks a little silly on both of them. Yeah. Maybe if it was like 1 and 1, but you know.
Yeah. Get my baby wipe.
Yeah.
And because I'm using liquid adhesive, they can wiggle a little, like just a little until it sets. So just be careful that you don't wiggle them and then leave a big glue puddle or something. Look how cute.
You just went for it, right?
I just go for it with the ears.
Okay, I'm just going to go for it. Just going to do it.
Just go for it, P.
Just going to do it.
And then when they're dry, I like to kind of just do a little baby curve up on that seam. Oh, good job.
I feel like there's a little bit more playfulness with these folded ones for the lining up.
Yeah.
Because it's not, they're not straight.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, I do like to kind of keep my bottom line somewhat line-ish. That is so cute. Okay, while the ears are drying, let's go ahead and build our box.
Okay.
So we have our 2x2x6 boxes. We're going to fold them, get them ready. Now, it's your choice what area, like which orientation you want your box, but there is this like seam line. I like to put that towards the back. You can choose whether you want your like the front bottom edge to be this smooth seam or you want it to be the rough seam. It's up to you. I tend to put the rough seam on the bottom. Like, I don't know why. It's just a habit. And then what I want to do is on our gnome beards, if you've not had one of our gnome beards, they have these long strings. It's so if you want to tie it around something. When I build these gnomes, I typically bring the string straight up as opposed to around.
Okay.
When we do sometimes in the winter, do them with socks. And so if I do socks, I'll tie it around and it's easier. But this one, I know where I want to place it about nose, 1.5 inches down from the top.
I like to measure it like when I set it down so he's not stepping on his own beard.
But depending on,
sometimes I have to trim. Sometimes you got to trim a little trim.
Nomeo makes all of our beards.
These are all handmade.
All handmade. And depending on where the yarn is in the skein, they can be a little curlier or a little straighter. So just a thing.
But I usually like to do that first and then adjust from there. Like that's my go-to starting height.
So what I like to do too is sometimes what I'll do is I'll pull the string up and around here. And I'll put a little hot glue inside here or a little piece of tape. I have some Scotch tape here. Want some Scotch? Yeah. I just have some Scotch tape. So you can tape it like on the inside so the strings will go down inside the box. The other thing I like about these boxes is that you can already have these built and just leave the bottom. If you don't want to latch the bottom, don't latch the bottom. You can fill it from the bottom since your top's already going to be made. Tucking my beard strings there.
I put a little bit first to hold it where I wanted, so
that's smart.
I could tape it easier.
My fingers getting stuck.
I'm struggling.
Okay, beard in. Love it. Now, when I do this, I do like to take my hat and make sure, because it is Scotch tape, so you can adjust it, right? I do like to take my hat and make sure that my beard is where I want it before I glue my arms on. That's looking so cute. My ears are a little high maybe for me, but oh no. Panda dropped her hat. I'm gonna have to get that for you in a second.
Or I could make a new one.
I'll get it for you. Where did it go?
I have no idea.
We'll find Panda's hat in a second here. But I do like to measure to make sure my hat's okay before I put my arms on. So no, I'll get it for you. Where did it go?
I have no idea.
Oh, I see it. Okay, stand by.
I was ready just to get a whole new hat.
No poop.
I heard it like slide into the
here you go.
abyss.
I recovered it. I'm trying not to shake the table. The camera. Hey, you know what?
That was impressive.
What's funny is whenever we're crafting, Panda always tells me I need an apron that's like magnetized to the table because I drop things constantly on the floor. And
it's often small things.
Anyways, I like to make sure my hat's where I want it or the beard's okay before I put my arms on. And when I go to put my arms on, I
look at
that. So cute.
So I like my beard positioning.
Yep. Okay. When I go to put my arms on, I kind of hold my beard first because the beard strings can get a little wild. And I see, okay, that looks good about there. I do a little tuck like that to kind of get my arms around where I want them. And then you just glue them. And there's enough room on these arms. Like there's definitely enough room for you to overlap a little if you want. Since this dries faster, excuse me, I'm getting the hot glue.
Sometimes I like to leave a little beard out of the arms.
Yeah, you can totally do that. And then you can still go in and push them back in. I was doing some photographs and the beard hairs were flying everywhere. And I just happened to have like a flathead screwdriver next to me. And that was the perfect thing to push the beard hairs back in because it was metal, so it wasn't staticky.
Oh, smart.
Okay, so
you could also do that look too. Sometimes it almost looks like a little mustache.
I just glued my arms to the back there.
Oh, look at how cute. I love it.
Put the hot glue in the back. Oh, well, I'll leave it here for a second. And then when I position my hat where I want it, I kind of set it towards the back a little more. Look at how cute. And your side seams should line up on the sides pretty well. Look at that. So when I have my hat where I want it, I usually just come flip it around and I put a little spot of glue back here to hold my hat. So, oop, it fell off. Little spot of hot glue. We're just going to go for it. I think that's about where I wanted it. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad from just plopping it on in the back. Oh my gosh.
I got too impatient to fix the beard and I forgot to hold it long enough.
Hot glue is nice when you're, oop, I didn't put enough hot glue. I didn't hold it. I didn't hold it long enough. The hot glue came loose. Sometimes you have to bite the glue. I don't know what's happening with the glue stick. Help.
Where do you want your glue at?
I think I'm good with the glue now, but I just wanted the glue stick to work.
Okay.
Hot glue dries fast, but it wasn't drying that fast, so I had to hold it for a second. It's actually pumping now.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes.
It's just been a little, little technical difficulties. It's okay.
Okay, I think my hat is solidified now. Oh my gosh. Look at how cute. And I love actually how crowded like the nose with the carrots and the hat is. Like I just think it's adorable and endearing.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, so okay. I really like the mix of the colors. I was doubting the blue with the pink.
I saw the little bit of doubt at first.
I love it. You gotta glue your hat on.
I know, but I wanted to show it first because this is so cute.
It's that chocolate bunny is adorable. I love the chocolate bunny. And you can see the difference. We'll show when Panda is done here. We'll show that it just not matters, but depending on the paper you use, don't burn yourself, P.
Yeah, I don't have Amy's Teflon
You can use your little square to hold it on the back if it's too hot. There you go. If you have the silicone fingertips, that helps too. Oh, I thought you lost an ear for a second.
No.
Okay, so Panda, hold your bunny up to the camera. So see up higher with mine. See the color differentiation on them? This is on glossy paper and that is on flat paper. So you get a lot of definition on the gloss or like the photo. Yeah. So just depends on the paper you're using.
It's almost like a dark chocolate versus milk chocolate with these prints.
Yeah, totally. So the blues are pretty consistent. Yeah. It's just the chocolate, like the details on the bunny, you can see more on the glossy. So it just depends on what you're doing. And the glossy though is definitely harder to cut out.
Yes, that's like pro level.
Well,
not pro level. It's just not beginner level. I guess.
Yeah. So, but isn't that cute? So, okay, look at our finished bunnies.
And I love all the personality you can put in with the ears.
I know, so cute. I love it. So this collection, again, just to repeat, has 4 hat patterns. So it's the 2 egg patterns, the 2 carrot patterns. It has the ears. It has
these for a second.
Yeah. It has the ears. It has the arms, which before we sold the love arms separately, but these just go together so well. We just bundled it all together. Oh my gosh, so cute. So the chocolate bunny, the carrots, and the eggs. And then the carrots also have the gray arms, which I just think that looks good with the gray carrots.
Try to get them all so you can see them all.
Oh my gosh, love them. Love them. So cute. Good job, Pan. Pan did the arranging. Love it. Well, that was a fun create along.
Oh, I covered up one of them.
Oh, it's okay. That's a fun create along.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
They're so quick and easy to do. I think these would be adorable in like someone's Easter basket, right? Or like as adults, we don't really get Easter baskets anymore. So think if you put these together for your girlfriends or something, like I would love if somebody gave me a bunny, like, and even if you don't have our boxes and you just buy the beards, if you had a product that was about this size, like a lotion or a spray or something. I just like the boxes because you can pop it open and fill it with chocolates and love notes, a little bracelet or something. Like that would be an adorable.
Yeah, cute Easter, yeah. I know it's getting me
now. Panda's going to fill me an Easter bunny. This is the new basket, you know? So thanks for joining us. We were so happy you could be here with us. Please message us if you have any questions. Let us know how you're doing with the folding template. It just takes practice. Once you have yours down, you know, use that same template over and over and over.
Every time I get better and better. So.
Yeah, we get way better every time. So just a reminder, our next thing upcoming is our first look on Monday.
First look.
And, you know, just a little sneak. We're going to be showing the spring paper collection that coordinates with all of this. And, just showing that. I was trying to think, was there something else?
Exciting.
No, the spring paper collection is much more than this set of patterns. I just couldn't stop.
This feels like a mini set compared to the other one, if you can imagine that.
I know, right? I just couldn't stop. So we look forward to seeing you then and have a great day. Bye.
Bye.